Hello, I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man. My guest is Suzanne Staunton. Suzanne is a partner and barrister at JMW's London office and specialises in employment law. So, Suzanne, a report has recently been published by Advanced called the Performance Management 2022 report, and it talks about burnout and stress in employees and how more than 50% of employees would leave a workplace if they felt like they weren't supported. So, I mean, I suppose the obvious question, and certainly one that employers might want answering, is what are the signs of burnout in employees?
Obviously differ between from employee to employee, but something that has been reported to me, at least, to be consistent with everyone is a change in their demeanor or attitude or the way in which they approach work. So giving you an example, let's say that you had an ordinarily very cheery person at work and suddenly they're a little bit more irritable or snappy or sharp. That can often be a sign of burnout.
So, Suzanne, what should an employer do when they've identified burnout?
The first thing they really ought to do is try and address the root cause of that burnout. So try and identify how that has happened in the first place. Sometimes it's not work that's to blame, but otherwise it could be personal circumstances like a bereavement in the family that no one's spoken about, or becoming a carer unexpectedly. So it's about having that conversation with that employee and giving them some level of flexibility and latitude to be able to recover. The other very obvious point is it's important that employers are encouraging a really positive and friendly culture within the workplace, and discussing openly mental health. Because ultimately they are looking to the managers, the employers, to lead on this so that they feel able to have those conversations. And also when an employee doesn't feel that pressure, it often can assist with recovering from burnout. The other perhaps more obvious point is employers should really send their employees to occupational health if they suspect that there is burnout. The reason why I say that is it may be this burnout is part of a longer term mental health problem, or perhaps not. Perhaps it really can be nipped in the bud fairly swiftly, but it's only with occupational health's assistance that an employer can identify exactly what they need to do for that employee to ensure that they can get back to work in the most effective way possible, and so that they can ensure that they're happy, because that is very important too. The other point that you must also remember is sometimes there will be a duty to make reasonable adjustments as well. So that's a legal duty which is imposed upon employers by the Equality Act. And if you don't do that, then you could find yourself on the receiving end of a tribunal claim. Likewise, if an employee feels like they are being harassed in some way or discriminated against, treated badly, again, you may find yourself on the receiving end of a tribunal claim. Or even if they're just treated badly per se and they resign, they may well try and seek to claim constructive dismissal. So it is a minefield, but it's in your interests to make sure that your employees are happy and healthy anyway, because that's the best way of ensuring a productive and happy and profitable workforce.
And you mentioned there some of the pitfalls to look out for. And of course, employers do want a happy workforce. So how can you help, Suzanne?
Well, we can help navigate that situation. What we would do is look at the employee's individual circumstances and then look at what the employer is able to realistically offer that employee, and come up with a plan about how they can support that employee and also mitigate against any potential legal claims that may come their way. Because ultimately, unfortunately, sometimes with these sorts of cases, it's a twofold consideration the employer has to have. So first, looking at how they can sincerely support that employee, but second, looking at how they can protect themselves too. They both go hand in hand, really, but you do need to be alive of both of those issues.
Suzanne, as always, thank you so much for your insight. And if you'd like to contact Suzanne, you can email insideman@jmw.co.uk or call 0161 82 81 999. I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man.